This is big breaking emergency news. We are now seeing a quote severe warning being issued, and we're being warned that we could see outages to the power grid. We could see communication outages and blackouts, cell phone outages, radio outages, and satellite communications could go down. That is what the National Space Weather Service is now warning of. This is going to potentially happen in the next 24 to 48 hours on Friday night. That is what they are warning of right now, a quote severe warning. This is the first one they've issued since 2005, right? So let's dive into this here really quick. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news. All right, so you can see here, this is one of the maps that are being issued right now. All right, and they are saying that we could see aurora all the way down in Alabama. All right, you can see here, quote, severe solar storm could trigger northern lights as far down south as Alabama Friday night. All right, this is big. And they're also saying that this could trigger GPS problems, hamper satellite communications, and blackout high frequency radio communications. So you can see that a level 4 geomagnetic storm watch has been issued for May 11th. This is going to be early in the morning, so this will be the night of May 10th, Friday night, and Saturday morning, early in the morning, is when this is going to hit. This is a G4 out of 5, so this is a very severe alert that has been issued. All right, and this is actually the first one that has been issued since 2005. All right, you can see here it says large sunspot groups and strong solar flares led to the issuance of the first G4 watch since 2005. All right, so this is big. This hasn't happened in almost 20 years, and this could cause major outages of communications. All right, so this is something you need to be aware of. This could cause problems with the power grid, and they're saying we could see auroral effects all the way down to Alabama. And you can see here they are warning that we could have problems with the power grid. All right, this is coming from the Space Weather Prediction Center, and they're saying for a quote severe G4 geomagnetic storm, we could have quote possible widespread voltage control problems, and some protective systems will mistakenly trip out key assets from the grid. All right, so they're saying that this could trigger automatic protection systems like switches to prevent overloads, and they're saying there could be widespread voltage control problems because there could be surges to the grid from this excess electromagnetic energy that's entering the atmosphere. The grid and the power lines could absorb this energy, and we also see grounding issues. That's one of the main problems that happens with the power grid and with electronics, is that the Earth's grounding is affected and it's not stable during these geomagnetic events. And there's even potentially things like increased activity of even things like earthquakes, storms, severe weather events, because the Earth is getting bombarded with this severe electromagnetic radiation. Right? They're also saying that spacecraft operations could have issues, and also even things like flying. When you are at a high altitude, you're going to be absorbing a much greater rate of this excess radiation that's bombarding the Earth right now. Right? And it says induced pipeline currents affect preventative measures, HF radio propagation sporadic, satellite navigation degraded for hours, low frequency radio navigation disrupted, and aurora has been seen as low as Alabama and northern California, typically 45 degrees geomagnetic latitude, right? So this is big. And something to think about as well is that they are measuring this and comparing this to the Carrington events, right? You can see here, this is the sun, right? And this gray blob is the Carrington events, which is considered the most severe weather geomagnetic event, space weather geomagnetic event from the sun to ever hit the earth that we have on record, right? There's probably been more, obviously, throughout history that we don't have record of, but this is one that we have recorded. We actually had instruments to record it, and it actually caused mass communication blackouts throughout the world, right? And you can see this orange one right under it. That's actually the one that is heading towards Earth right now, right? So that's AR 3664, and that's the Carrington sunspot on top, the gray one. So these are similar in size. They're not exactly the same. They don't have the same density and the exact same pattern structure, but they are very similar, and people are making comparisons online saying that this could be potentially a Carrington event, and it is expected to hit us Friday night. Right, so make sure you guys are getting prepared. Make sure you're getting ready. You can see here, what if the Carrington event, the largest solar storm ever recorded, happened today, right? And they're saying it could lead to years-long power outages, right? And another thing to consider is that technologies like HARP, I'm not saying that this is what this is, but these are real technologies. You can see here, this is Google's own AI. They're saying, yes, the high frequency active auroral research program can produce an artificial aurora, also known as air glow, by using radio waves to excite electrons in the Earth's ionosphere. It says HARP has 180 antennas that radiate 3.6 megawatts of energy into the ionosphere and upper atmosphere at frequencies between 2.8 and 10 megahertz. The exact times and days of transmission depend on the current ionospheric and geomagnetic conditions. All right, so that's what we know of. They can create artificial aurora. So maybe potentially these events could be amplified. These geomagnetic storms that are hitting the Earth, they could potentially be amplified with these technologies. Okay, I'm not saying they are, but they can create aurora too. And now we're being told that aurora could be all the way down in Alabama. All right, I've never heard of this. In the past year, I've seen things like this. I saw one down in Kentucky last year. I remember I saw people posting, I didn't see it, but I saw people posting pictures of it, right? And now they're saying in Alabama you could see this. So maybe potentially something's going on. I'm not saying it is, but these technologies do exist. And you can even see here, this article, it says HARP artificial air glow may be widely visible in Alaska, right? Because they're always doing tests and experiments on it and creating these artificial auroras. And these antenna sets are all over the place. China has them, Russia has them. They all have their own antenna arrays just like this, some of them even more powerful, and there's other ones too that we don't even know about that are blackout programs that are not on record. Okay, so this technology does exist potentially, and potentially things like earthquakes are increased, the likelihood of them during these geomagnetic storms. Okay, so because we see it, think about it, if it affects grounding, if it affects the power grid and the electricity grid, then it could potentially be affecting the Earth. The Earth is geomagnetic, right? It could be energizing the Earth. The Earth is being hit with this very powerful solar radiation, and the Earth is magnetic. And the tectonic plates could be responding to this electromagnetic energy that's bombarding the Earth, right? The solar radiation. So let me know what you guys think. And Earth's magnetic field is actually weakening as well, right? It's been documented. There's something called the South Atlantic anomaly, where there's a major dead zone of the Earth's magnetic field where satellite communications, all these things, they do not work properly in this region. And it's because there's a weakening of the protective shield, and we are now getting bombarded in this region, right? And it causes satellites to go down. It fries them a lot of times. It's a major issue, the South Atlantic anomaly, right? So these things are happening, and you need to be prepared, right? You need to have alternative forms of everything, right? You need to have a generator. You need to have, because you might be able to, the grid might be hit somewhere else and you might be safe where you are, right? So you need to have a backup plan. You need to have a generator. You need to have solar. You need to have alternative forms of communication, right? Sat phones, but even satellites, they're going to be affected by this, and they're going to be hit the hardest from an event like this. So there's holes in every plan, right? Cell phones are going to be affected by this too. Radio communications are being affected, and cell phones operate on a radio wave. So make sure you're getting prepared, make sure you're ready, and also enjoy it. If you've never seen it, see if there's going to be clear skies. It'll be a cool event too, right? Be ready, be prepared, so you're not worried about it. Be stocked up, have your tanks filled, your gas tanks, your water tanks. I always have my stuff filled up, ready to go, and cycle it out every month, so I don't have to worry about it. That stuff's always filled. Have that filled up so you don't have to worry about it. Have your prepper pantry filled up so you're ready to go, right? And if you've never seen it too, or even if you have, just try to enjoy it too. Maybe you can see it in Alabama. It's pretty wild, right? I bet you, if you live in Alabama, I live in the South too. If you live down there, I'm not far, all right? Not far at all. Then you probably never thought you'd see an aurora, right? That's like something that's supposed to be in Alaska, right? So it's a cool event. Enjoy the event. I remember I saw a little tiny bit of one in Colorado when we were out west. I remember one night, this was last year, when they were having all these auroras, right? They're getting really deep down into the continental United States, right? And I saw one in Colorado, right? I saw a glow. I didn't see it fully, like it was like, really spectacular colors because it was cloudy, but I did see the glow, right? I did see like the green and the purplish glow in the background of things because we were up on a mountain and we could just see really far, and I could see the glow out in the distance. So it's a cool event. I want to see one that's actually really like very colorful and vivid, but even just seeing those little bit of colors, it was interesting, right? So let me know what you guys think about this. Please be prepared, be ready, all right? Because there is a small likelihood that one of these events could be big, right? The Carrington event that they were comparing this to, this could wipe out the entire grid and communications for years. All right, so I don't want to scare anyone here, but just so you know, that's what they're comparing this to. So be ready. There's a small percentage, maybe 5 to 10% likelihood. Who knows? I have no idea. But it's probably a small percentage that something like that happens. It's not a 5. It's only a 4, but it's the strongest one they've issued since 2005. All right, so thank you guys. Hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a blessed day.